Hey guys, sorry about that. I got sidetracked and Mr. Frybert was needed to go outside for a minute. As you can see, he's back to his normal sleepy mode. Although last night was fun because youngest daughter got her school is a little different, so she got let out for fall break on Thursday night, and since it's her birthday on the 10th, she has a friend sleeping over this weekend. So they were up and being loud and, well, sleepover time, and, Fry, feeling better, decided he wanted to join the festivities, but he was in my room in case he got sick again. So he was up until 1 whining at the door, then up until 3 in my bed playing Attack Mommy Time. So I, will be living on a diet of Monster or coffee brewed by Monster Energy drink. I don't know, I don't even like coffee, so it will be a caffeine and, caffeine day. I'm like, "Exactly how do I brew coffee with Monster Energy drinks? I don't know, but we will figure it out." But, now, of course, he is dead tired. Yes, he is definitely, I think, going to be a mid-sized dog, so all of the small puppy things I got are going on Marketplace so we can get mid to large size puppy things. Because it is going to be an interesting thing. Good afternoon, everyone. So, since it is Friday, I have news stories picked up, but we also have the long awaited Mo-fessional and story time that we can do, or we can do news. So, it's up to you guys. I am sleep deprived and okay. Sounds like a plan. Yep, just down the hatch, regular coffee, instant coffee green grounds. Hello, Jess. So I do have news stories picked up, but we can just go straight into Mo-fessional and story time, or we can do news. It doesn't matter to me, like I said. All right, Mo-fessional time. Well, as you know, as most people know, I do have complex regional pain syndrome, and I have been waiting for this spinal stimulator thing. So, being a stubborn and unwilling to change type of person, I decided back when about beginning of summer when I started to feel a whole lot better and, decided to take this step to get the spinal stimulator, that I was going to start weaning myself. Now, listen, do not follow any of Mo's advice. I am neither a professional doctor nor a internet doctor, nor any sort of medical professional anyways, nor a life guru. In fact, I am just a redhead who babbles on the internet. So, no one should follow my stubborn advice. But I was feeling so great, had so much support from you guys, was feeling so much better that I decided that I hated some of the medications that they put you on, to help with nerve pain, make you feel somewhat space cadet-y. And I hate feeling space cadet-y. I hate being dependent on anything because it is a constant reminder that I have this particular syndrome. So I decided to start weaning myself down from my nerve medication stuff. N Not again, not with any sort of doctor consultation. So, as a stubborn dumbass, if you will, decided to just do this my own self. My own idea, if you will, as a stubborn 4-nager would say, all by my own self. Uh, so I decided to do this, and everything was going pretty well, and I was under the impression given by kind of my pain doctor that once I did the insurance requires you to give, sort of a 10 write a 10, kind of bullet point list, reason kind of dissertation as to why, uh, your life has changed because of the pain that you feel in order to even approve this sort of spinal stimulator, how your life has changed since you've been in pain and things like that. So I was under the impression that once I, got these 10 things figured out and went to, the kind of cursory and perfunctory, physical therapy appointment where they basically said, yes, your life is impacted. And yes, I do that. I am long enough in the process that I do not want to, switch this doctor until I at least get this, trial spinal stimulator through. But if this trial does not work out, if this spinal stimulator trial does not help with my pain, I will be looking for a new doctor because I don't particularly like him. He is not a fan of CBD oil. He doesn't think that it helps. He doesn't think, that ketamine helps. He pretty much just wants he's pretty set in his ways. He's not really, very educated on CRPS. He was just kind of the first doctor that, was affiliated with my regular doctor, so I just kind of went with him to go with the flow because I was going to so many different doctors. I just wanted them to all be affiliated with the same hospital chain at least. So I kind of consolidated all of that. Oh, really? Oh, well, one blessed Nana. Yeah, he's definitely not a Pomsky. He's a Mutsky, but we love him, and we have had to, get a holy water, spray bottle, a Fry no, bottle, because his buzz collar is not quite working. So, he is doing now you move to your bed, you are a freaking pain in my hind end, Mr. Frybert. Let me see if I can now you do what you're supposed to do. As you can see, his bed is terribly messy. I need to clean it. That one will not go in the wash machine. Oh, poor this way up. I'm so sorry. You know, I ha I have to send the kids out of the kitchen because when I'm cutting things, if I can't get distracted anymore, especially with the medications. Fry has to be out of there. Oh, no. Oh, that's hilarious. He he is cute for his safety because last night he was on full on zoomy mode until 3 AM. Yes. Well, I was under the impression that he was still a Pomsky. So, anyway, I definitely was, under the impression that once I got all of the little interviews done, that, I would be kind of fast tracked to get this spinal thing going. Fast forward about 4 months, and we are still waiting for insurance to approve this, and finally, the day I took off, I believe it was Wednesday or Tuesday. No, I had Wednesday was last Thursday. Whichever day this week I took off, I finally had to come clean to Mr. Mo because, of course, I didn't tell Mr. Mo that I had been weaning myself off of my medication, um, or anything and trying to just tough out nerve pain and wait for this spinal surgery and, do all of this. I am okay. I am okay, but, so I finally had to have a little breakdown and say, you know, just I can't handle this. I was here and I definitely thought I was, gonna tough it out and finally called my doctor and said, "Oh, well, we're still waiting. It could take another, 3 to 4 weeks." And I was like, "Another month of waiting for something that could possibly help or not help?" and it kinda broke me. It was just a little bit more than I could handle that day after the Maya testimony. It was just like, I'm kinda done, and it was not the best day. So, I am back to working up to, taking my full dose of the Lyrica. Yes, I do need to get your information, so if you could, please respond on Discord so I can have your, information, or respond to me on X. If you can message me on X so I can have your information to set up the stream, that would be great, Christine. Um, which is upsetting because the side effects are not great. It affects your eyesight, um, which CRPS already does. It makes things blurry and not always great, makes me terribly dizzy. So, I was basically in tears when Mr. Mo came home because I was just like, I've been trying to be positive and uh, hang on, and then they keep saying, another 4 weeks, another 4 weeks, and I keep going to this doctor who's charging my insurance this money to basically come in and see me and say another 4 weeks, and I just have about had it. And he's like, "Well, why?" Oh no. Well, we're still on the day before, so we've still got the sister and the son to go through today with Nicholas. But I will. I will do that, atheist. So, Mr. Mo kinda got a little upset with me because Mo may or may not try to do everything on her own self. She may or may not try to tough everything out on her own self and not be honest about, what she's dealing with to everyone. She and I'm talking about myself in the third person, this is so weird. But, yeah, he definitely was like, "Yeah, you need to start being a little bit more honest with what you're doing, because definitely, when you are doing things like this," he's like, "If you had just told me you were weaning down, I could have been more supportive, and, I would have known that you were in more pain, and we would have, helped you with that, but instead you're over here doing things by yourself, being a stubborn ass as usual." And I was like, "Well, that is one of my most endearing traits." We should. We definitely should, because we are halfway through the daughter's, or I think we're actually on halfway through the daughter's cross. So, I don't know how long the, recross is, or the rebuttal to the cross for the daughter is, but we should be getting to the son today, definitely. But, yeah, to say I have been super stressed out and not handling it the best, uh, because it was like they were just dangling this thing that could really, really help, kind of like the Maya thing, which maybe why I had resonated with that so much is, like, they dangled this thing that could really help, and then they keep pushing it off. So, if I'm a little more spacey here in the next couple weeks, I am, um, working my way up back to, I, in fact, just put in my refill because I was for sure, like, super positive that I was going to wean myself completely off my nerve things. You I was so that is my mo-fessional. So if you guys notice that I'm just a little more spacey or can't remember names quite as quickly, that is the reason, and just wanted to let you guys be aware of that. It's, you know, it's not my natural blondness, though that is a factor. It is, actually that I am going back on my medication. So, that is my mo-fessional for today. I, uh, tried to tough everything out, and sometimes you just need to take the help that you are given and not be so damn proud about everything, which I find not easy. But now to story time! And since you guys have been waiting for story time, this is a fun one. Well, it's sort of a fun, hilarious one, but, since it is youngest daughter's near birthday, we are gonna talk about how youngest daughter came into the world because youngest daughter was kind of and is kind of my most hilarious and, kinda crazy entry into the world of all of my children, which is saying something because she is one of 6. So, youngest daughter was a giant, giant surprise. To say she was a surprise would be an understatement, and that's including Mr. Griffin, who we found out about, uh, like 2 days before Mr. Mo went to his, vasectomy consult. Yes, that's not a joke. We did find out about youngest, most feral, like 2 days before or Mr. Mo went to his vasectomy consult. So, 40th birthday party celebrations, watch out for them. They are dangerous. Also, um, latex adult protection, items do have expiration dates, and that is, something that Mo should have learned. But after my first husband passed away, about a year later, I decided to try dating. Oh, I was well, Kaiser, you walk in on at the greatest times, greatest parts of story times. I was talking about how we learned about my youngest, most feral's existence about 2 days before my husband went in for his, vasectomy consult. Because timing. Good thing we had already ordered the Ford Transit, right? Pre-planning. Well, see, one blessed Nana, you know, youngest, most feral fought his way into the world, and watch out for those 40th birthday, celebrations. They will get you every time, and homemade moonshine is dangerous. I'm just saying. Good morning, Carlene. But Mo decided to date after first husband passed away, and, uh, youngest daughter's father is a lovely father, lovely, great father. He is wonderful, but we are not a wonderful couple together, but he is a wonderful father. So, we find out that, uh, youngest daughter was on the way about Valentine's Day, and I was like, "Oh, hell no. Oh, hell no. No, no, no." Negative Knight Rider, like, I am shaking that test. I am like, This is not why no, this is" so, you have to go get that digital test because 'cause you're like, "This line is not even no, this is wrong." And youngest daughter was the only child that I did not find out before she was born what she was going to be. I was convinced, absolutely convinced she was going to be a boy. Absolutely. And she was due around Thanksgiving, so I was calling her Turducken for as a nickname. So, I even got a little boppy and I had it, embroidered turducken on there. I think the woman thought I was nuts. Most people do though, so I was like, whatever. She's like, "You want me to what on the thing?" I was like, "Look, just I'm paying you money. Just just embroider turducken on it, please." I'm crazy and pregnant, just listen to me. But during the end or sort of around 6 months, I started swelling big and huge, and I couldn't figure out what was going on, and I was working at the physical therapy water pool, and the nurse practitioner working there assured me this was fairly normal. Now, this nurse practitioner should be brought up on some allegedly should not maybe be working in the medical field anymore because she assured me that this was fine, everything was okay. But around 6 weeks before she was due, I went into an appointment, and as a type A, I have a list of things to do after I get done with this appointment, have to pick up the girls who I already have, grocery shop. I am feeling terrible, just awful. I have headaches, I'm not seeing very well. Turns out I have preeclampsia. Honestly, thought I was gonna walk out of there. The doctor's like, "Your blood pressure is 180 over 100. You're gonna have to go to the hospital just for monitoring." Again, type A personality, they wheel me over because the hospital is right, attached to the doctor's office, and this is October the 10th or no, it's October the 11th, so it's 10, 11, 10, and my type A ass now, I feel so bad for this nurse because looking back, I realize what an ass I was, but during the time, my controlling, type A ass, she's like, "Oh, okay, sweetie, you have to lay down, put on the monitors, we have to check you." This is what Mo said to her, "No, no, I don't have to get undressed. I'm just here to be monitored." Like, I'm getting ready to leave here once I'm done, you know, not knowing that preeclampsia, I could have stroked out had I left, while driving or anything else, going to pick up my children. But I was so type A that I was like, "No, I have to go grocery shopping. I have to go do this. I have to do that. I don't think you understand. There are things that need to get done." So this sweetheart nurse was really sweet, and she said, "Sweetie, we just need to check you. Just give us 10 minutes. We'll just check you just a little bit. You'll be okay." So they checked me, and lo and behold, I am in labor and, um, 3 centimeters dilated. Now, that means you are pretty much, in labor. And again, Mo type A says, can you stop this because I have 6 more weeks? Like, can you, like, shove this back? I have decided, this is" I was like, "No, I don't have anything set up. Can you please call someone? Can you call my uterus's manager?" I went full Karen. "Can you call my uterus's manager? She is obviously, not listening to the instructions, and, I cannot do this. I need to, leave. I can't have a baby tonight. I need to leave." So luckily, I have good friends that could pick up my other children and take care of them, which was awesome. And they put me on magnesium sulfate to try to stop the labor and give me some steroids to help mature the lungs and everything else. But that does not work. So at 9 p.m., I have my daughter, Nola. The the weirdos in the trial stole my name. But, oddly enough, for 6 weeks early, she was 5 pounds, 2 ounces. So she was a what I call a giant preemie. And, uh, the sad thing about when you have preeclampsia and you have a preemie is they take that baby right away to the NICU, so you don't really get to hold them or anything else, and you're still on this magnesium sulfate that makes you feel terrible. It's like you've got the flu plus the stomach flu plus, like, just awfulness. So, while they're doing all of this, the common medical knowledge, or the common medical idea is that preeclampsia is caused by some part of your body rejecting the pregnancy or something. So the doctor doesn't wait for this is going to go into gross TMI stuff, but it is what it is. Doesn't wait for the placenta to deliver. He starts just kind of pulling it out. Well, he doesn't pull all of it out. So, I remained sick for about 6 weeks after because they didn't get all of that out. But I am just shocked as hell because I was like, once they deliver and say it's a girl, I said, "Are you sure? Because 'Cause I'm pretty sure this was supposed to be a boy." I have negative maternal instinct when it comes to the gender of my children. Everyone was always like, "Did you know what your kids were?" I said, "No, I have negative maternal instinct. I thought all the girls were gonna be boys. I thought all the boys were gonna be girls. I have negative maternal instinct. I am terrible at it. Don't ask me. I'm a horrible, horrible maternal instinct person." But we eventually got home and we were all fine. So those are my story times. But Miss Nola made her appearance, and it's so funny because now, to give you a sense of her personality, uh, everyone we meet, they're like, "Oh, did you name her after New Orleans?" And I said, "No, I all of my girls have four-letter names that end with A because there was a theory as a young child who struggled to spell and read. I was, very disgruntled as a kindergartner when Anne and, Sally got short names, and I had to get stuck with Marissa, like, flippin' 7 damned letters and all the longness. And if you end a child's name with a vowel, you can shout it out for a long time. You can just stretch that vowel out, you know, S Sarah or, Annie, but if you go Hannah, it's that hard end, and you can't yell it out for a long time. There's a point to this. I swear to God, there's a point. So, I decided that since there were so many, I had boy names picked out. I did not have girl names picked out, but, um, for Nola, I had a friend of mine print out a bunch of four-letter names that had A's at the end, and I wanted something a bit unusual, and, people in my life had letters. So, I have a person in my life that has an N in their name starts with an N. So, I thought, "Okay, Nola starts with an N," and then, uh, one of my daughters has an O in their name, so I was like, "Nola," and then one of my daughter has an L in their name, so I was like, "Nola." Now when Nola was a toddler, my oldest daughter said, "It's really good you put "No" in the beginning of her name," because her nickname was No No Nola. But Nola, her response to was like, "I'm so glad they named a city after me." And I was like, "There you go, Nola." It's like, I think it's a little backwards. But she definitely has that type of personality. She's my one that my oldest, I just have to she's my mini me that would just like to be left alone in her room to, sit and be left alone and be where the people aren't. My middle daughter is the social butterfly that I'm like, "Are you an alien? Why do you like people?" Just just explain to me why you wanna be on all the committees and all the sports, because I don't quite understand. I love you, but it's kind of like Jane Goodall. I don't quite get it. I'm willing to observe. I would love to understand, but it's so foreign to me, I just don't get it. And then my sweet, sweet Nola is the one that I just need bail money for because I think if a boy got fresh with her, I think she'd shank him, allegedly. 'Cause she knows what she wants and she will go for it, and she's got such a unique and precious way of looking at things. She's just so offbeat, and that is the real miracle of kids, and I don't know if all of you guys have kids. I don't sometimes I don't know who all of what but if you don't have kids, that is the real cool thing about them is that you will give birth to this tiny little squishy alien thing that looks kind of like Lord Voldemort at the end of the book, and Winston Churchill kind of and poor Nola was bald until she was 3, so it is what it is. But, you'll give birth to this person, and they're in this lumpy potato stage for about 3 months, and you have no idea what they're going to be, and then you start to see this personality just expand and expand, and and you'll do it several times or once, and you're like, "Oh my gosh, who in the world where did you come from?" You might give birth to a mini you might give birth to an alien you have no idea, and it's so weird. And rewarding because you get to see this little person become well, sometimes with boys, you're just hoping they survive because the youngest, most feral, it was raining last night, and he was like, "I'm gonna go jump on the trampoline." I was like, "No, the hell you are not. We are not going to the ER." So, but you get to see these this expansion of an entire person, and that is the cool thing about being a parent is you're not only, growing a person, you're growing a personality and a mind and everything else, and you get to see this Nola is my one that she is going to change the world. She just sees things so differently, and it's yeah, or even an auntie or an uncle or just a mentor. You get to see all these different things, and, it forces you to see things in such a different light and really look at things differently. So that is my story time. She is going to be turning 13. I swear to goodness, she just came home from the hospital. I am definitely not mature enough to have 3, teenage girls. Pray for me now at the hour of my hormones. I did the quick math for Mr. Mo last night, the horror math, and I smiled at him, and I looked him dead in the eyes, and I said, "Sweetheart, honey, dearest, you realize that once every one of the kids goes through puberty, I will be going through menopause. Do you wanna get your own condo?" I was like, "I've done the math, and by the time all the kids are done through puberty, I'll be going through menopause. Would you like to get your own condo and we can switch off when the hormones become too much?" I'm like, We're gonna need a safe room, either for you or for me or for both of us." And he just looked at me with scared eyes. He's like, "Now I know how your snapped episode starts." But that is my story time and Mo-fessional for today. So, yes, if I'm a little more flighty the next couple weeks, I am going back on my nerve medication. I tried to tough it out for the next couple week or for the last several months. Sometimes it takes that. It's almost like the parents in that Boy in the Box thing had options like that. It's almost like that. But, just my advice to everyone, and I generally don't give out advice because, again, I am a redhead on the internet and I generally don't follow anything, and I learn the hard way all the time. I generally don't seem to ever learn the easy way, but from my learning the hard way these last couple months, don't try to brave things out. Don't try to hang on to stuff. Look, if you're given something that helps, being overly optimistic sometimes is just as bad as being overly negative. And sometimes you just need the help. You just need the help, and it's okay. It's not, you being weak or relying too much on big pharma or whatever. It's just you need what you need right now, and it's okay. It's all right. It's not doing anything terrible. It's reality right now, and you'll get through it, and be open to sharing your struggles. You don't have to do it by your own self. Mr. Mo gets a little irritated with me because I am not always one to share when I struggle. But, you know, you have people around that want to help. So, be open to sharing. Those are the things that I've learned this week. Thank you for joining my TED Talk. That's what we need. We need a Mo TED Talk. I'm sure they would cancel me after that. Can you imagine the Mo TED Talk with the stuffed mushrooms that are totally not phallic behind me? Oh my gosh, I could only imagine my TED Talk. And just a reminder while I have you all here, because this is the most important news in the entirety of the world as we know it. Well, as I know it. Don't forget to vote for Fat Bear Week. I've told Mr. Mo that one day I will make a pilgrimage to Fat Bear Week. It has become my goal in life. We must knock Otis down. Otis has won too much. Otis must be eliminated from the bracket, not from the world, from the bracket. We must we must crown a new winner. That is all. This is my new favorite thing, it's the only thing I'm excited to vote for in the next 2 years. I really must admit, my husband's like, "They do what with what?" He's like, "Is this some sort of weird sex thing?" I don't know why people assume it's a weird sex thing, but then I remember what I report then I remember what I report on most of the time. I know, we just can't figure out who's the eviler twin half the time. And then I'm afraid once, Ronan or Ty, gets old enough and we have a sounds good. Well, so I do have to take, youngest daughter to the mall for her birthday, so if it's later in the evening, that would work, but I do have to brave the mall where the people are. She wants to go to the mall. Okay, okay. She does have to brave the ma I do have to brave the mall, so if it's in the evening, I can do that, but during the day, I do have to go to the mall, and Mr. Okay, so Mr. Mo, joys of living in the outdoors, somewhere along the Fat Bear thing, in addition to the Ford Focus that I now drive, which I call the Ford Fuck It, to be honest with you, because it goes 0 to 60 in 4.5 minutes. You could literally put your pedal to the floor and it would still go. It has no pickup. Think it has a hair dryer motor in it. I don't know. But his new Prius that we got from his mom, I think something went in there and died, so it smells like death. But in his Ford Focus, somehow a ground squirrel got into the back seat. So there is a literal ground squirrel. We got the ground squirrel out, but there's a ground squirrel, like, tunnel in the back seat. So, now we have to take his Prius to a Toyota center to get it de-stankified on Saturday. So, we will I will try my best to be around during the Mark Jensen premiere. But we have birthday and destankification. I'm trying not to laugh. I know know he's upset about it, but I was too busy to render comfort because I was laughing too hard, which is why Mr. Mo I don't know why Mr. Mo puts up with me. I generally laugh too hard to render comfort and aid. I'm like, "This is hilarious." I was like, "Did you try a dryer sheet?" I was like, "Did" I was like, "What crawled up?" Yeah, he was not amused. Not amused at all. So, yeah, and I said, "Well, what did you tell the Toyota people?" And he said, "I told them it stinks." I was like, "So did you tell them you needed to destankify it?" He said, "No, I did not use destankification." I was like, "Well, why I would've." This is what happens when you're married to me. What is Fry this is how Fry sleeps, and, Mr. Mo said, why is he sleeping like that last night?" And I said, "Well, he likes to hang out with his wang out." And Mr. Mo said, "You did not just say that." And I said, "He likes to rock out with his C word out." He's like, "I am married to a 12-year-old boy." And I was like, "Yes, yes, you are." But yes, this is how Fry sleeps. I It's like Jonestown the morning after. I cannot with this puppy. It's literally a horror movie. He's got played dead right, but this is how Fry sleeps all the time. So I will see you guys in a few minutes. We will be doing yeah, he's airing out the bits. It it's a hard life. He was up till 3 o'clock playing Attack the Mom. My arms are completely covered with little I've got a scratch on my face. He was just bound and determined to get into the sleepover last night, but they had snacks and M&Ms upstairs, and we were not doing more throw up last night. We just weren't. So I will see you guys in a little bit for the catch up of The Boy in the Box. Hopefully, we should be getting closer to current contemporaneous time. Hopefully. I make no promises though. Hopefully, on Sunday, we can kind of catch up a little bit, and then we will be on top of things for next week. I am going to try to get in touch with Christine so we can do the roundup and with her notes and go over some things with her. So I will try to get that set up with her. I hope you guys have a wonderful Friday. I will not be having nightly newsy news because I will be on with Nicholas for his Finally Friday thing where he is doing, I think, a dad joke, don't laugh, something or other stream. I'm not quite sure, but I know it's going to be fun. I know it's going to be great, and I would love to see you guys there. Please like and subscribe and share with your friends. And I will see you guys in a little bit. Have a wonderful Friday if you aren't joining me for the Boy in the Box trial, and have a great day. Bye, guys.